value in attending a conference such as this is that with the number of capital projects that are occurring in Australia at the moment, it gives an opportunity to benchmark what other facilities are doing, to network with other people, try and figure out what your issues are in comparison to theirs and what some of the possible solutions might be. So it's not just that, it's also meeting up with other people who've got products and things that they can display and show you, and if you're building hospital facilities, that's actually quite important to know what's out there in the market and what some of the latest events are. For me, probably some of the digital things in terms of tackling some of the digital revolution a bit differently, in the sense of how technology is actually going to change the way we do healthcare. Some of the other things, probably not such, I didn't learn so much from, because that's the area I work in all the time, so it was probably challenging me on something that I wasn't so familiar with, which would be some of the ICT and digital things. I enjoyed very much the sustainability conference presentation, because that was actually quite interesting, actually figuring out and understanding how the sustainability issues are put together, which I wasn't aware of previously. The major barriers for stakeholder communication, I think, is really the way the projects are set up in the beginning, in terms of the contractual relationships that are set through the governance structure, some of the politics which dictates how those stakeholder communication events will unfold, and certainly on our project on the Queensland Childrens Hospital, the politics did dictate some of what happened for us. So they were probably the major barriers. I think once the governance is resolved, then it's really working out proper relationships, contractual relationships as well as interpersonal relationships that sit underneath that, and if you can get that right, then you're probably more likely to get a good stakeholder communication strategy in place. Some of the best practices, I think, at the moment, at least in the world we operate in now, it's really understanding the impact of technology and making sure that you design for that. I think certainly understanding patient flow issues and making sure you get those right, because there are so many events and areas that patients need to be dealt with in hospitals in this day and age, that getting your patient flow right, I think, is critical. And I think probably the last thing is really making sure that you're designed for future flexibility. I think getting that right and making sure that you have enough space to do what you need to do, and the flexibility to change your space in the long term is going to be important. These are expensive facilities to build, and if you don't get your future flexibility issues right, you then have a lot of money you will spend again when a model of care changes, or you need to change the way you do business.